Y'all missed the great intro I just did before I decided to go live. I skipped a step there. All right, so we're live, and I see we've got some great people here. We got Grim Fatalities 88. We got Mio Rider 27 Motovlog 2.0. Uh, Thank you for last night. I've now hit my 1,000 subscribers. Now we're just got to work on the view time because once you're monetized, it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have. What really matters is how many people eyeballs on your videos. So here we go. We got Mio Rider. We got Grim Fatalities. Envious Car Creations Car Club. Thank you for coming. So now that you guys actually can hear me this time, now that I am live, I'm going to let y'all chat amongst yourselves. So what I've got to do here is I'm going to clear off this table behind me. That's why I was a little late. I was trying to make this table up. I've got a high top table that I created in the past just for live streaming. The whole point behind that is it's up higher, as you can see. So me and whatever I'm working on could be in the same frame at the same time, so you don't need multiple cameras. But I got to finish cleaning off the table. And tonight's project, I want to go ahead and put together a go kart motor that's been taken apart and get it back together so we can get that back on the go kart, get the original motor back on the go kart, and we're going to sell that go kart. So here we go. And y'all talk amongst yourselves, say hi to each other. Uh-oh, we got a mess. Try to catch all these. Had those all nice and organized on that rag, and they just fell out of the rag. So now they're everywhere. Get them in this bin at least. My phone is dinging. That reminds me I need to share this live stream link with another group of people that said they would stop by today if I gave them the link. Try that one more time. How's it going? Like and share, Jack, bro. Yep. Hey, Mater. How's it going? I know usually a little later in the evening on my Tuesdays, but I was having a good evening yesterday and decided I would jump on early today, which kind of bit me in the tail because I didn't quite get the shop ready like I'd planned to. All right. All right. Now I've got that sent out. I'm going to hook this to the battery if I can find a cord. All right. I have my headphones out. I need them for later. I had a cord. There's a mouse. Lovely. I'm working at it, guys, I promise. Where'd this cord go? It may not have, oh, there it is, it's on the floor. It may not have made it to the bag. There we go. Didn't really get a chance to set up some lighting, so we'll have some makeshift lighting there. How to do the do. That's right, Marcus. Grim Fatalities. Grim Fatalities 88 has just started a channel. He's going to be doing gameplay. Am I correct? But he just reminded me of something very important, as how to do the do. So that's going to be how to do the do, man. You got to show people how to do stuff. A lot of people don't know how to do stuff naturally. They're scared to do stuff, and I'm not. I'm all about doing this stuff. So let's see if I can get this other device working. Maybe. All right. That's working. That's working. I still got to clear off the workbench, and then I'm going to get the go-kart motor out and get it going from there. I think the quickest way to fix this just do this. This table's an absolute train wreck and always has been. I know, I set up a fancy table so y'all could see me, and now you get to look at the back of my head. I'm going to turn around this way. Get a little better. Oh, it's my camera battery. Can't find it. All right. Put it there. All right. Now we just need to maybe clean off that a little better. Oh, one of those tools. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. That's better. And just clean off the table some more. Get a rag or a dustpan or broom. Hey, Mater. I'm stealing your genre. No, just kidding. But I am putting together a small motor this evening. that table's dirty. We're getting there. We're getting there. Almost. Right. So however many minutes we are into this, I should have started at least that much more earlier before coming out here. Should have came out here that much earlier. All right, guys. This device does not want to work. I'm going to relocate this device. Is that the new engine for the truck? Really, Mater? No, I'm going to try to get rid of my son's go-kart because he don't ride it no more. All right, for a quick update for you guys. The truck does run and drive. We've done the live stream video of that. Still have to wrap up some of the wiring under the dash or under the hood first. And then I have some more wiring to straighten up under the dash. Let's see. Blue list back here. My throttle actuator controller is actually under the hood, and that's because of how the wiring was. I had to run the wiring that way. I don't remember why, but I was able to unpin that whole pigtail, run those wires through the firewall, and just temporarily mounted my throttle actuator controller there. That's the actual brains that actuates the throttle because it's drive-by wire, and I didn't have to remove the vats. So until I have to remove the vats, I'm not worried about, the drive-by wire works. Millions of vehicles have it. It actually makes it easier for me to set up cruise control as well because I have all the wiring. Those wires are set aside and labeled from the ECU, so I'll have to run. In fact, they're actually run from the ECU through the firewall, through the pigtail on the firewall, and they're in under the dash. And now I just need to actually wire switches up, so I'll have cruise control. But I have to get all the check engine codes turned off first. Straighten up under the dash. I said that. I've got a relay box. I've got to wire that in under the under the hood. I'm going to relocate a couple of wires under the hood. After that, I'll install that's right here, windshield washer fluid. Now that reservoir will go back where it goes. That's why I have to relocate some of the other things because I didn't think it out very well, and I put some major wiring pieces right there where that is supposed to go. All right, so that's the next step. Horn, still don't have the horn working. I don't know what happened. It used to work just fine. So that might be a steering column problem as well. That's what happened with the ignition switch. We lost the switch in the column. Broke my hood release cable. So right now I have a zip tie pulling it. But I need to order one and get that fixed. Wire and install I've got an under hood light that came out of a Suburban. Back in the day before everybody had battery powered everything. Flashlights they're still easy to lose. So instead of losing a flashlight, I'm going to have a permanently wired light under the hood. So when you open the hood, you can just grab that, turn it on, good to go. So that's the update on that. There's some other things coming down the pipe soon as well, but that's the major steps that I want to get done very shortly. All right, so the reason this motor got torn down to the state that it is, I had no intentions of modifying this motor. I kept it as original as possible. So in the event that we wanted to sell the go-kart, we could put it back to factory, put it, and send it down the street. The motor on my son's go-kart, we never removed the governor, but we bypassed it to where it doesn't affect the throttle. So the throttle is from the pedal wired directly to the throttle blades on the carburetor instead of through the governor. So that's part of what we did. We also did some other stuff. We changed the exhaust from this to a big, just pretty much a straight pipe with a little bitty muffler on the end of it. And then we also changed to like the Gauss style air filter, which between those two mods, we had to rejet the carburetor, and it made it boogie. Boogie's pretty good. So, in fact, immediately after doing that, I did some donuts on it and broke the front spindles and had to re-weld the front spindles on the Go Kart. We got Bear Rose Garage. All right. This has been a minute. But what happened was we did all those modifications to the Go Kart, and I'd wired up an ignition switch to where he could sit, in the seat of the Go Kart, start it up just with the lawnmower ignition switch. That worked for a while, and then it quit. Well, when it quit, the coil had gone bad. So went through the whole wiring, rewired rechecked every wire on the thing, and lo and behold, had to steal a coil off of this motor to put on that motor. And that's what we're doing today, is we're reinstalling the coil and putting everything back together. We got a brand new toolkit. Y'all don't know how good that tastes. That's first one today. All right, let's see what we got here. Bigger. There it is. All right, so remember here. Goes like that. Like that. Yep. And get the screw started. I'm too far away to read the comments. Hey, Bear Rose. We got Envious Car Creations. Mio Ryder's still here. I got Mater, Grim Fatalities, and two others I haven't seen comments from yet. But thank y'all for coming. I know some of y'all already heard it earlier, but I hit my 1,000 subscribers either late last night or early this morning. And so I'm at 1,012 or something like that. That's it. Yeah, this is one of those 212 engines, yes. Oh. All right, let's drop that through there. So now that I've hit my 1,000 subscribers, now the big push is to get the hours viewed. So thank you for everybody coming and watching and laughing at me struggling to put a go-kart motor together. I'm no pro at this. I haven't studied this. Barely thought about this. This was hey, I might try that today. So thought about that at lunchtime. There we go. What do we put in there for a spacer? Mater business card? Thin cardstock? I don't know if I even have feeler gauges right now. That's too thick. That's going to tear up that box. Yep, that'll work. Let me go read the comments. Gap the coil with thin cardstock. Gotcha. Come on it. It's been 20 years since I've done this part, but when I take that back, I guess I kind of did it on the other go-kart motor, didn't I? When I swapped the coils. I don't think I looked it up then either. All right. It runs. I pulled the rope and it ran, so that's what I called it good. Uh-oh. All right. You know what? There's some cardstock I can use. The spark plug box. It's all about using what you got around you, right? Fancy tools. I had the top one snug down and realized the flywheel was in the wrong position. There we go. Right. Is that 3 Ooga Doogas? No, not really. All right. Come on. Well, I knew I was going to destroy something. There we go. That motor's got great compression. All right. Imagine the tins can go on next. And then the somewhere around here, I think I have the carburetor air cleaner assembly. And then after that, the gas tank. I think I remember the gas tank being quite difficult. Quite a pain. I'll walk over there and read comments again in a second. Okay. All right. Got a quick inspection. Yep, that's working. Quick wipe in, maybe. Well, this is a Predator 212 clone. Came with the Go Kart. It's effectively the same motor. All the parts fit it. Which the Predator 212 is a clone of the Honda motor. Am I correct? All right. There we go. It's like the coil wire itself is kind of fighting us a little bit. Okay. Oh, there it is. One of the pieces of tin that was on the back side was fighting us. So I was on the wrong side of it. All right, here we go. First screw going in, maybe. Once it quits fighting me. Cross thread works best, right? So we got I might unplug that plug wire and reroute it a little bit. It might just need. There we go. It was on the wrong side of that. I want to say vacuum line, but oh, is that the fuel line? Yeah, the main fuel line. Little bitty guy. All right. Let's see what our comments are at. Hey guys, CGE Labs Lizzo. It's Greek to me. We got another guest joined us here. Lezel EC Mix TV. Thanks for the subscribe last night. I saw some of the comments in the comment section. So what we're doing right now is just putting together a go-kart engine. If you're new to the stream tonight, and then we'll just get to talking. I'll probably throw up a link. Is that Colleen? Colleen Tebow. Welcome back. There we go. And Colleen, don't feel bad. It's not your fault that you hadn't seen me in forever. It's my fault. I just haven't had any live streams in a while. So, I'm back. Y'all look out. The holidays are over. I got a lot done on the truck. Well, it didn't feel like I got a lot done, but I've done a lot on the truck. Mostly off-camera stuff, but there's a good bit of it still. Will find its way to the channel. You know what? Where did that come from? Got a bigger bolt, and I don't remember where it came from. Well, if it goes under that, then I guess I don't need it no more. If it holds something else on, I guess I still need it. Oh, okay, I see where. Mystery bolt was a bigger size than the other ones. And those small ones just held the tins on. That mystery bolt came from maybe right in here. Yeah, maybe I'm still wrong. We'll figure it out, or we'll just have a spare bolt. All right, what's next? Looks like the airbox. And that's going to take some disassembly to be able to reassemble. All right. Yeah. No worries, life happens. Yep. Okay, I see what it's got. I'm gonna wipe. Didn't need to disassemble much. I was wrong. Mater's probably laughing if he's still on here. Hey, Landon. Oh, cousin Mike. We got to talk later, man. I have just been on top of the world today, though. Thank you, guys. What happened last night has made my day. So. I can barely see. I wonder if I can make that screen bigger. All right. Because I have to walk around here to see. All right. Yeah, just everybody saying hi. Yeah, I was out in the blizzard a little myself. After the live streams, I actually had to go run and get somebody. They were stuck in a snowdrift. Wasn't that bad, but it took a little bit, mainly just going to get him. I brought 2 shovels, one for me and one for him, because I didn't want to I didn't want him to feel like I was standing there watching him work. But we got him dug out a little bit, and then we grabbed him with the toe strap, and it came out after a few minutes of pulling. I would say it came right out, but it set off the digital tattletale in the work truck because I had the old wheel speed spinning a little faster than the. Let's just say I broke the 80-mile-an-hour speed limit. And I didn't. We're still sitting still. But yeah, all right. That hose is going to take a little playing with to get us there. All right, we got to go around those. All right, so the carburetor's got a choke and a fuel valve, and those have to go through these little slots right there. Let's move this in closer for y'all. So those slots have to get the choke and fuel valve in there. So I got to feed those through as I feed this onto the carburetor. And of course, it wants to fight me. All right. Maybe. There you go. Slide the carburetor out on the studs just a little bit. Then slide that onto the studs. Slide the whole assembly slides onto the studs. All right, let's get the nuts down on there, and I'll start hooking up these hoses. So I got it looks like a drain hose, but it looks like it's got a clamp on the other end. Yep, goes to this little black box. Oh, that might be a pulse pump. Some of these small engines use the crankcase pulse to pump the fuel. That looks like it's about a 10 mil. Yes, sir, it is. Good call. All right. I'm going to need some needle nosers here in a minute to, there's also like a PCV or whatever crank vent that connects to the valve cover from the air box to the valve cover. Got that. Let's find some needle nosers. It's over here in this box. All right. Nope, next one. Maybe. Have everything except for needle nosers? There we go. Some little micro ones. Shut down flat. I know. Didn't even get the camera up close so y'all could see, huh? I'll come back over there in a minute and read the comments, Landon. Sorry. Well, all right, guys. There we go. What is the comments? Minivan towing a 250 with a broken drive shaft. Ooh, that can always be fun. This would get the Geo Tracker running better, or a 4-cylinder Perkins would. Geo's looking good, huh? Man, I might have some videos to go catch up on, apparently. All right. Got the other little hose connected. Snug this up. Make sure it's snug. Yep. Airbox is installed. Cover. I wonder if there's something loose under there. I gotta tighten. I'd rather do it now. I'm gonna run back and forth to read comments. Need a bigger screen over there. And was planning on using a different camera that decided it didn't want to cooperate, and I ran out of time. Okay. That is it. It's got a little O-ring that the air filter sits on. That also kind of helps hold the things steady. And so as soon as I tighten all this down, I think we got it. So we've got one wing nut that tightens the air filter down to the box, and another wing nut for the cover above everything. Okay. There we go. So let me know more about this GO. There we go. The GO getting a Perkins diesel? Or is that just a joke? Pink hand waving. Yeah, the 4BT, they'd want an absolute fortune for it. And also, it weighs almost as much as the 6BT. I think it's like within 100 or 200 pounds of that weight, which is ridiculous. I want to say they roughly run about 1,000 pounds. All right. Pink hand waving, I guess. All right. Next. We've got most of this put together. The fun part's going to be putting that fuel tank on. As I recall, it was kind of a pain. Of course, everything was a pain coming apart because it was the first time I dealt with this motor before. Okay. I'm missing two of the whatever size these little metric nuts are because I got studs on the bottom of the tank. And that guy. Not sure. Okay. And I may have cut a hose. Get this out. We've got on the tank, we got a vent, and on the bottom of the tank, that's obviously the fuel. All right. And this guy, I tucked in there, not knowing where it went. That's the fuel line, and the top one's the vent line. Uh-oh. About to lose my little clamp there. Little bitty spring clamp. Slide it back. Feel the battery drop like it. All right. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out what size those metric nuts are. I think I've got some there or there. I wish I'd done this before, put the air filter on. All right. Well, about to lose one of our lights. Start thinking about what else to use in place of that. Huh. Okay, I think okay. I sure did. I cut the one of the lines. Pretty sure of it. All right. Oh, that explains that too. Let me get the other light going. That ought to work. All right, let me go read comments too. Behind. Y'all having y'all's own conversation with or without me. So they had an MGB, they put a 3-cylinder Perkins in. Back when he was a bus mechanic, yeah? Wasn't fast by many means. We could drive for 4 months on a tank of fuel. Yep. Oh. Bumping into stuff. Oh, I just saw one of my lights. Find the power source for it to be in good shape. Be right back. I'm looking for a USB charger. Like that one. Didn't have to go far, did I? All right. Ha! There we go. Okie doke. Remember I said I remembered fighting with this? Yes, I did. So that hose has to come from behind under there. So looks like I'm going to have to disconnect or remove the tins a little bit. Slide that hose because they don't give you enough room to actually connect the hose with the length of the hose where it sits under the tank. They've got it cut real short and accurate. So what I'm going to do is remove the tin real quick, route that hose under the tin where they originally had it, and that should get us back up. One step closer. While I had the tin off, maybe I could figure out where that mystery bolt went. I can see who's commenting, I just can't see the comments. There. Ha. Oh, well, I might as well take it off so I can figure out that mystery bolt. What on earth was that? I think it was somewhere else on the motor. I want to say it was on y'all's side of the motor. We'll have to watch the footage later to figure that out. Maybe I could remember by watching the footage. I have heard somebody, won't name any names, say that on his YouTube channel. The best thing about being a YouTuber is you've already got it on film. You just need to go back and watch it again to remember what you did. I think his name was Mike Finnegan from Finnegan's Garage. So how's everybody doing tonight? Been playing in the blizzards. Barely got that to start. Should have grabbed an impact. That would require batteries too. I'm going to stop and read comments. Okay. Goat turquoise white horns. Froze my coffee sitting in there in the cup. That's pretty cold, Bear Rose. Out in the shop earlier, but the storm rolled in, the temp hit the floor and kept going. It just kept going, huh? All right. Let's see if I could source some hardware to put this on there. Let's see, I've got a bolt here. I don't know what it goes to. All right. Okay, the mystery bolt, I believe, nope. I think it held something to do with the clutch shroud system in. And I got a new mystery bolt. Oh, that's probably, yep, this one goes to the fuel tank. So, I know you'll never be able to see it, but between the carburetor and the muffler, there's a hole way down it in there, and that's cast with the with a little hole there that will hold the fuel tank on. So we got to disconnect the spark plug and feed that little guy in there right there like that. And might help get started first. There we go. 70 mile an hour winds. Man, that is brutal. That's a hard pill to swallow. That just makes it, I mean, like my campers. When I got back the other day, I forgot to leave my diesel heater on. I got back from work and the power tripped out for a little bit. The electric heaters don't kick back on automatically. And so I had no heat working. And the temperature inside my trailer was 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is ridiculously low. Okay, we've got one bolt holding the fuel tank on. I need 2 nuts, and we'll have it. Let's see if this little guy fits. We have a local hardware store here in town that sells metric hardware by weight. So if you go to the average place that sells metric hardware, they give you like 3 in a bag and charge you like $4.99. Well, not this place. You can grab a handful of them. You nut, bolt, washer, everything for what 3 little bolts would cost at a normal hardware store. So sometimes when I'm there, I'll buy hardware for my next project, and then I'll forget where I put that hardware because it didn't cost very much. And I wind up going and buying more of the same hardware. So then once the project's over, then I wind up with this extra hardware laying around. So I try to keep them organized in bins. In fact, the camera on my laptop is actually sitting on one of the bins that has a lot of the spare hardware. All right. I believe that's everything except for the vent tube. This, I'm going to have to buy a longer hose, looks like, because I think I cut this one. But I'm going to try give it one shot to route it around. Oh. I might be able to route it around the tins and the carburetor, and that might just fit. There went one of the lights. Thinking the factory just didn't give us a lot of extra hose. If I can route it just right, I might be able to pull this off. Now it's biting me. And then what I'm going to do, quite the conundrum sometimes. To be on live stream, it eats up time where I could be working on the project or editing other footage. So it's something I've had to try to deal with. Not that I've done very good at dealing with it, but it's either way, it's a commitment you have to make as a YouTuber, I guess. There we go. I was trying to force that way the wrong route. Okay, we got it all put together. I guess I could check the oil and pull the rope, see if she starts. Well, put some gas in too. All right, what do we got? We got Colleen Tebow, some unfinished projects. Hey, thank you for coming by. I didn't even see you here earlier. We got Uncle Mike or Cousin Mike, which Landon's Custom Classics, and then Bear Rose in the house, Envious Car Creations, Lori's World. Hey, Lori. I know Mater was here earlier. He stopped by. I don't know if he's still here. Yeah, I bet you've done some wild towing, by the way. Just now scrolling back through the comments. All right, let's go to the bottom. They haven't been maintaining your ditches. Ooh. Yeah, they can make, can make it even worse. In some cases, it makes it for a shallower ditch. In some cases, it makes for a deeper ditch than it needs to be because certain washouts and stuff. I understand that. Let me put the tools away. I'll check the oil. I don't think it's used enough or any. That motor wasn't on there for very long before we took him. I put an electric start motor on my son's go-kart so he could start it by himself, wouldn't need our assistance. And that little turkey, he prefers to ride my lawnmower over his go-kart. The lawnmower that goes like 10 miles an hour. Where the go-kart can run circles around it, literally. Toolkit's complete. Close her up. All right. I like having toolkits complete. It's rare that you can keep them complete, and so far I've kept that one complete. What I need to do is come up with, I've got a rolling tool cart there now, and I've got a bunch of, y'all can't see them, they're right off camera over here, the Milwaukee pack-out toolboxes. I got a couple of those guys, and one of the local hardware stores was running quite a special on those right before Christmas. They were by far the cheapest price I've seen pack-outs. Amazon, eBay, anywhere. These guys were still cheaper. Because they got some sort of special from the manufacturer when they purchased them. So anyway, I've got them there. I think one toolbox has just some hardware and stuff in it. So nothing's got a lot of tools here that need homes, and I got a lot of places to put the tools and just have it put them in there. Hadn't created those spots yet. I do prefer having each tool has its own spot, so you know where your tools are at. When you need them, it's a matter of just, you know which toolbox it's in, which drawer it's in, and that kind of stuff. And that can get you going. All right, we're going to do I might take this off camera and put it on something a little bit more sturdy and stable, because this Table's real tall and kind of wobbly. All right, go grab some gasoline. Just off camera here. I thought about moving the table. That might show you more of the mess back here. So, I'm not gonna put much gas in here because I still have to ship this thing back home somehow or another. That and by the time I get to take this motor home, the gas could potentially go bad. So here we go. Let's turn the fuel on. Cap back on. Where's Waldo? Oh, got this car. Oh, spark plug on. Oops. Well. Huh. May not be getting spark for whatever reason. All right, give up. So what y'all want to talk about for the night? Let me move this table in closer or something where I can see. Shakes fever, hard to walk from being dizzy. What's going on, renegades? Unfinished project said sick from what? So I guess he's talking to a renegade. Yep, Mandy's in the house. Where's little Mark? Is he still on? Well, we got up to 10 people here. New carb for the 58 snowblower. Gonna try to sell it. A 1958 snowblower. I bet you that's an overbuilt machine. Pretty sturdy, I imagine. All right. I think I'm going to try to pull in the laptop a bit closer or move the table. Alrighty, guys. It's the best made. Steel Sky. Okay. She's saying he'd stepped out to cook dinner since she's feeling bad. Okay. A lot of that feeling bad going around lately. That's not good. $59 minutes. All right. We're creeping up on the first hour. I tried not to go over 2 or 3 hours because, I mean, people have other things they sometimes want to go do. So, scrolling through the comments there. Yep. Gotta push fluid, stay hydrated. That's right. I am gonna open it up. Where is it? There it is. All right, there's the link. If anybody wants to jump in here on the screen with me, you're welcome to. I probably should have had somebody do that earlier, but then I don't think I have my audio set correctly right now. I'd have to go put my headphones on. It's hard to walk around and do stuff when I got the headphones on. All right. Got an AI camera that's only basically been used once. I got to figure out why it's not working again. Could just need a battery in the remote. Oh yeah. It's got a battery in it. All right. Put some more lights on. So what else is going on? I mean, I know we've got terrible weather and people are feeling bad. I hate for people to feel bad. I hate being sick myself. I know that. All right, guys, don't everybody jump on here at once, but I got the link there. If anybody's got their computer set up and wants to jump on the live stream, or whatever live streaming device you use. All right. Well, what else do I want to talk about then? If y'all aren't going to talk, I guess I have to do all the talking. So yeah, I've told y'all what's left to do right now immediately on the truck. Clearly, I still have a lot of body work and stuff to do, but that doesn't have to happen before I can take it down the road. So I did bring back. I've got a passenger side door that looks much better than that. Of course, it's going to need scuffed and painted to match the truck, but it doesn't have quite as many dents as this one. Might have a little ding or something, but that one's crunched and wrinkled quite well. I do want to try to mimic the stencil. I think I'm going to mimic the stencil from the driver's side. The driver's side and passenger side stencils are actually different colors. One's white and the other one's black. And I'm not sure if they even kept the same stencil pattern or design. I'm smelling gasoline leaking. The something on the motor's leaking. So. All right, we'll turn the valve off. Thinking the float's stuck, and that's why it's leaking from the float bowl there. It happens. So, yeah. The big majors is when things that have to happen or really need to happen on the truck. Immediate things that need to happen is the wiring, the dash. Right now I have a temporary gauge cluster from a donor truck. I'm mixed feelings about using that one because I'm going to have to modify or use the dash pad from the donor truck as well to make that gauge cluster fit. And also would have to cut a little bit of sheet metal dash. And then if I do that, then I'm going to have to probably add some sort of supports, wire, something, to support the dash here and there where yep. So that kind of leaning away from that one, but at the same time, I've got the parts and it does work with those gauges. The flip side is there's some other projects I've looked into. I could go with the Dakota Digital Dash, which basically they have their version of the square body Chevy dash. Of course, it's all new gauges and digital speedometer, made to work with your modern engines. You can make it work without, But who in their right mind would spend the money on the Dakota Digital and still keep the, if you don't need the gauges to be able to work with the, modern engine and ECUs and stuff, then don't spend the money on that. The other thing I'm looking at is I've seen Autometer makes one that's a flat screen digital dash. And they have a box that basically would patch into my ECU harness or the wires that come from my harness and would run off, I think, partly off the CAN bus and work from there. That's one option, but it's about $1,300. The other option I have seen, there's some people making with, I want to say, Raspberry Pi, wired up to a small touch screen. There's some open source stuff out there for that, so I can do one of those projects with Raspbian. Um, and then following from that, I saw the gentleman that was making some of those videos. He actually does produce a commercially available. I can buy it right now and plug it into the truck. You just tell him what type of ECU you need it to fit, and he pairs that up with the right, I guess, uh, input outputs. You know, he has different input output boards depending on which ECU you're using. So if you're using like the Holley standalone, you can use that and tell him this is what I'm ordering it for. Then if you had Mega Squirt, there's some people out there using these to make a dash for the Mega Squirts. So that's actually where I found that group of videos. But then I followed the link to his .com, and he has his own ready-made that I could buy it and order it. And I want to say it's like $350 instead of $1,350. I saved myself $1,000, and I got something I could bolt in the truck, wire it up, and drive down the road and be ready to go. So kind of where I'm leaning, because I have some other things I want to do in my head. I've already built it. I want to take the square body dash pad and modify it where, all the modern trucks, you got your touch screen right there on your dash where you could reach it. On the square bodies, the stereo was way down at the bottom, almost at your kneecap. I want to take and mold the dash pad to where I can fit a double DIN stereo in the dash pad. When it's mounted in the truck, then the dash pad will have a touchscreen stereo. All the modern conveniences. With that being said, I also, when I do that, I want to install a reverse cam. So I'll be able to, when I put it in reverse, I'll have a camera that'll show me behind my truck. I mean, it's no smaller than any not modern 3/4 ton. It's slightly smaller in height, but it's a beast. It's long wheelbase, and I need to be able to see behind me when I'm backing up, because another thing is they put the flatbed has that giant headache rack, which is got a expanded sheet metal on there, and that really blocks a lot of my view. Also looking at the inside of the windshield, the thingamajig, as my wife would call it, because if she can't remember the name, but and the geo tracker. Oh, you know what? I've been forgetting I could do that too. There we go. So he put a double DIN touchscreen with remote start and the geo. I love the remote start idea too. That's this killer. Which we might be able to do that with this as well, because it is an automatic. So that shouldn't be too hard to. I mean, they sell aftermarket kits for that anyway. So not that I even want a stereo or security system so much as I just want to be able to hit the button, start the truck up when it's cold out, and have a nice, cool, warm truck when I get in it, or vice versa when it's summertime. So leave the AC set to come on, and there you go. Mega Squirts can be fun. Wait, never mind. I take it you've worked with the Mega Squirt. That is actually where I learned the majority of when I started studying. The inputs and outputs of and sensors. What's this sensor do and why? What is that signal and where does it go? That kind of stuff. And learning how the computers process that to make your vehicle somewhat self-tuning. In most cases, the manufacturers have come a long way, and that's why I don't mind the this 8.1 swap, because it uses the same computer as an LS. So it's pretty much got the same inputs, outputs. Everything's the same. It's easy to understand. There's a lot of wiring diagrams out there. In fact, not only are there a lot of wiring diagrams out there, you can buy a ready-made ECU harness on Amazon or eBay for what, $200-300, and plug it into all the right sensors and plug it into the ECU, and you're ready to drive without spending the weeks and months it took me to strip my harness down. Are you bypassing all the safety switches? Well, some people do, some people don't. I'm keeping all the way down to uh, mine has a oil level sensor in the oil pan, and I was like, why take that out? If I can get it to where it'll still give me a dummy light and tell me that my oil's low before blowing up my engine, I want that. Because, I mean, I've been kind of spoiled to driving modern vehicles that have all those sensors. So, and I understand enough about these sensors to know if it's giving me a code for a sensor, either the sensor's bad or the part's bad, or maybe some of my wiring's bad, it's time to start replacing stuff. And, it's not like I don't have an OBD2 scanner to figure it out myself. So, let me keep forgetting to swap the Mega Squirts. Could be fun. And we got the remote started a yard sale for $5. That's a steal. Oh, it's a whatchamacallit. I quoted her incorrectly earlier. Whoop, somebody commented it too. There we go. Let's pop that in there. I take it on the YouTube side, you could probably see the purple hand waving and stuff. I know what I'm seeing in StreamYard. I'm just seeing a bunch of words saying stuff. It's a what you call it. So, alrighty then. Drop the invite back in there one more time. And guess what I'm going to do? Bam. And then, there we go. There's the invite, guys, if y'all want to jump on. Because I really didn't sit down and write any sort of material for today. Oh, you can only drop emojis? You don't know much about cars. That's fair enough. Well, I did watch the little red scooter video where you're putting around and, traveling around town. And I forget where y'all went, but, it was a beautiful scenery where y'all went to. Good videos. I can tell you she rides a red scooter. She's not a 1%er. Well, maybe over there. Oh, see. All right. Where are we at now? Talked about the wiring. Now, that's the big thing right now is the wiring in the dash. The charity rides. That's correct. Got a majority of the interior here ready to go. It all came out of the same Suburban. And then the bench seat that I had in there before is actually right here. That also came out of Suburban. That one's also blue. But blue and yellow really don't go too well together. So I'm trying to pick a color scheme for the truck. My wife's saying black and yellow. The original dash and stuff to the truck was beige. Not that you could tell anymore. It's in horrible condition. Same with the inner door panels and stuff. And I'm debating about just paint them or wrap them with fabric. Whatever fabric we choose or color of fabric we choose for the interior, then go with that. So, and I'm kind of leaning towards black, or I was thinking maybe gray, but gray doesn't go fantastic with yellow either. So, then again, gray is, I have plenty of gray spray paint. Gallons of it. In fact, there's a whole case of it over there on one of the tables. So, interior, bodywork, that kind of stuff. Would love to take, probably take a lot of wire wheels, kind of clean up the whole bed. It's got the diamond plate in the back, and clean the whole bed up and paint it all one fresh coat of black. It also has a couple spots. I'm going to point right there. I don't know how y'all can see that with the welding hood still just, man, the camera can just barely see that. Y'all can't see it from here, but there's a pretty good size rust hole in the upright, that square tubing. It won't take much. Just cut it out, put some flat stock in there, and weld it back up. It also needs probably a drain hole at the bottom there. He's saying he's got a. Okay, so he would jump on the live stream, but the storm's getting pretty noisy. All right. Well, I appreciate you having me on last night with the chat there and bringing me to the other chat with Mio Rider 27 there. Quite a fantastic influencer. So I can say that for sure. Mandy's still saying black and yellow, and I'm getting there. I think I might have to do some yellow, maybe inserts on the fabric and stuff, just to keep it from being all black. Because my opinion is that if we go all black, it's just going to be hot in there, you know. And these windows are not tinted. I guess I could tint them, but the few times I've seen some of these windows come out of the trucks where it was aftermarket tint, this stuff looks horrible after years of being in the sun. But yeah, I mean, I could probably, especially the back windows, these side ones, just do as dark as legally allowed. Back window itself, maybe a medium tint, and then a light tint up front windows, whatever's legal in light. I know my work truck, somebody managed to tint the windows on it, and in yesterday's blizzard, it made it very hard to see out the sides. I've never noticed it being hard to see out the sides. And why, with it being a blizzard, would it make it harder? But there was so much snow in the air, we were having a hard time seeing anyway. And I just wanted to make sure. I literally had to roll my windows down at every intersection to make sure I could see that there weren't vehicles coming from either side before I pulled out. So, what we got here? So thank you. We appreciate much help. Oh, they helped me a lot. I don't think I've done any help. I've watched some of their videos today. Had quite the group on there last night, though. So yeah, mainly wiring. Mainly get the dash right. Once the dash and wiring's right, this is drivable. I'll start driving it all over the place. Sheet metal be darned. Because I was driving it before with the sheet metal. I cut out a chunk of it, and if I needed to go somewhere, I'd just hop in the truck and go anyway. And the once I welded the pieces back in, they got welded in, they got painted. So what's that phrase? Paint it black, put it back. So everything's going to either be black or primer gray until it's ready to shoot paint on everything. Some pieces individually, like doors, might get painted on the internal side first, then get mounted, and then paint the outside. I'll probably have obviously the door jamb trims, and then the very outer edge of the door, painted from one side, and then when we come back to shoot paint, we'll scuff that. The charities. Part of the Ford driver's floor is plywood. Well, I've done slightly better or slightly worse. I've fiberglassed a floorboard on the Volkswagen Beetles. Literally just took a piece of plywood, wrapped it in foil. I don't know why I thought to use foil, but maybe that was what people may have mentioned to do back in the day. The foil. Yeah, wrapped the foil and then fiberglassed. Cleaned up all the rusty sheet metal, cut out the rust, and then just fiberglassed it in. And I probably used way too much fiberglass and resin. For what I would do now, I would probably use about 3 layers of glass. Unless I wanted to just make it extraordinarily strong and bulletproof, then I would probably use 2 layers of Biax, thin Biax, 2 layers of UD glass, and then 2 layers of thin Biax. Something like that, and it can make it retardedly strong and rust proof because it would be fiberglass. There's some trophy smiling. I wish I could see that. I guess I'll get to see it afterwards. Trophy yellow. Yeah. Watching for a better cab. I kick myself for buying this truck immediately. It did run, started, drove. As soon as I got on the road, I realized how bad the tires that they had on it were. It still has the tractor style battery, which does not fit my battery tray at all. which didn't matter back when I got it because the battery tray that was in it was gone. Um, Since been replaced, obviously. So yeah, I do wish I'd bought a truck that was in better shape overall, rust wise and what have you. And it would have been a much faster and easier project in my opinion. But at least I didn't pay much for it. I've just been paying in labor to fix it how I want it. And I guess that's too. I'm one of those people. If I have a certain thing in my head and that's how I want it to be or look, that's how I'm going to time to get it. Somebody, they're pretty quick. Oh, may have lost. Might be steel bear road cap put on. Not on this. Maybe your Geo. But yeah, I mean, I just wish I'd have, slightly hung around longer and got a better cab in the first place. But it is what it is, and it is mine now. And if I were to ever try to sell it, it'd be a pure loss for me because I've got more time and effort and maybe a good bit of parts as well. But the parts is about all I could charge for, and we'd have the memories and the videos, I guess. But no interest in selling it anyway. So maybe trade for a cleaner one. Hello. Thank you for coming and joining us. And I've watched a couple of her videos too. All right. Well, we're almost an hour and a half in. I've done all the talking. Would love to let somebody else join, but doesn't seem if anybody can right now. What else? I mean, I didn't really prepare to talk this whole time by myself. But I've done some of it. Oh, you got the 68 Thunderbird running good. Yep, that have been known to bypass those until they can be replaced. That was another thing. While I had the firewall apart, I had to take the heater box out anyway, and I knew I had a leak, but I didn't know how bad the leak was. The leak was so severe that the tubes coming out of the heater core, when I unbolted the heater box from the truck, the tube fell off the heater core. So it was like it had no solder left whatsoever. Oh, you can't cruise because it's cold. Let me get that. Will it let me? Mouse is not quite. There we go. Uh-oh. What did I do? Uh-oh. Well, y'all can still see me, right? I've lost part of my screen here. Oh, there it is. Close that. There we go. Scrolled down too far when it finally scrolled. So, alrighty then. Talked about that. Some other future projects. Speak of go-kart engines, I came across a yard lawn edger a while back. Motor starts and runs. It's not a very good edger. It has problems with the way the belt and blades attached to the machine. I thought about trying to put a wheel back there and see if I could make. If y'all seen the videos for the world's fastest radio flyer wagon, there's some other people making world's fastest out of this or that and the other. And why not make the world's fastest yard edger? And I'd have to probably put somebody smaller than me on it to ride it, but at least I could make it into a halfway pit bike out of a yard edger. Figure that one out. So that was a possible video coming soon. That's going to be a ways. I've got a lot of videos that just need edited. I've got some car show footage that needs edited. And so try to brainstorm some new ideas of that sort that, projects that interest me that can kind of give people a break from my normal footage of this beast. So, like doing the go-kart engine type stuff. So anytime I come across some other side stuff that's still somewhat related, I think that my audience would still watch, and maybe it would open some other audiences that not normally watch this footage. um, I know I've got some of the. Nope, we just lost our video again. All right, I've got some really old footage of one of the Toyota trucks I bought. Was the very first footage I ever shot for a YouTube channel, and I filmed it on a really rotten GoPro that had a scratch on the lens, and it was in a waterproof case, so the audio was horrible as well. But I've got some footage of me actually working on that truck in the parking lot of the hotel I was staying at the time, and because that's kind of what the channel's been about up until I got to here. Anytime I did shoot footage, I was shooting footage from wherever I could be working on a vehicle at, and it has been. It has been fun. A garage. Keep losing. I'm seeing myself cut out there, like the camera's not working. You don't have to have a garage with the 4-post lift and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of machinery to be able to do a project vehicle. It doesn't hurt, but you don't have to. Kind of like the roadkill. Those and work on the side of the hotel where you're at. You can work on it there. Just don't put yourself in jeopardy of having to do it on the side of the road. That's the one pet peeve I have of that series, Roadkill. They'll buy the parts. They'll have them in the back seat. They'll be driving down the road, and when it breaks down, then they'll fix it. I prefer to do the due diligence and fix it before you hit the road. Don't be afraid to hit the road, though. Both my Toyota trucks were purchased in Idaho, and within weeks of buying them, I drove them home to Houston. And I think Landon and Bear Rose might be able to tell you that Idaho to Houston's not a very short trip. It's about 2 days worth of driving if you drive all day. And I've done it a couple times. I made the mistake of thinking it was also a 2 or 3 day ride. When you're on a motorcycle, there's a lot more you have to do. You're out in the wind by yourself without a windshield. And you also need to stop for fuel about every hour or so because the limitations of motorcycle fuel tank sizes. So, yeah, that was a challenge, and it's been done, and I won't do that again at that rate. I'd rather put the motorcycle in a trailer or make sure I have enough ample time to get there and back. Do want to go to Yellowstone again. I don't want to do Yellowstone on a motorcycle again. I think that was a bad idea. It's a beautiful area, but the animals there, they know they have the right of way, and they take advantage of that. And if you've watched any footage of how many people are trying to take selfies with the bison and get attacked by bison and killed, it's not a good idea. So maybe I would take a different vehicle to go to Yellowstone. I know I've been to both sides of the Grand Canyon, both the North Rim and the South Rim, and I would love to take my family on a family vacation to any of those places while Marcus is still living at home and living with us. Now our oldest son, Cody, he just got to go through Moab a couple weeks back, probably months back by now, on his own, on a company-sponsored trip, just like I did. And I kept telling him, oh, this is going to be next, and this is going to be next, and this is going to be next after that. And awesome pictures. Like, yep, the same pictures. But that I want to be able to, do some of those travels with my family and have those good times. So I'm a fan of all of the national parks. There's a few in California I wouldn't mind going to. I'm not a fan of the state of California, but I would love to go to those national parks. Yosemite, and what's the one with the the giant redwood trees. That's some stuff I want to see in person. So, what else? I guess that's a fallback topic. uh, Y'all got tons of awesome cheap cars. I love the fact that you're saying that is true. Even if they're not running, they're not so far rusted out that they're gone, like other places that use road salts. Y'all use the what's it? The basalt, the volcanic rock or sand on the roads, which is an awesome traction aid, and it makes the vehicles last that much longer. Because both of my trucks that I'm talking about are 1982 and a 1983, so they're older than a lot of people out there that are driving now. Uh, and they, if it wasn't for me being so rough on the engines, those things would still be drivable and on the road. And it's something to have to do with maybe the extra large tires I put on the trucks too. But yeah, maybe the propane and turbo may have helped it too. So. And that is still the easiest way to find my channel when I meet somebody in person that's a stranger. I say, type in 22R propane turbo. It's going to pull my channel up every time. That is the oldest good video on my channel. The other two got views only by default over the years, but I have taken these older videos of it was a Kohler generator that I rebuilt the fuel pump on, and I've remastered that into one video because there was 3 videos, and I was like, I don't know how to stitch them together back then, so I just posted all 3 videos individually. What is it? In here till the end. Just need to get ready. Oh, is she about to leave? She got to go to her own live stream. Recommend visiting Central California. Small towns, plenty of country. Yes, from the big cities. The rest of California is pretty normal, in my experience, because I have worked in California a bunch of times, and there are some normal people in California. I promise. I think the extremity of the not normal people makes it just it's quite. My buddy YouTube wants to pay for me to come hang out in Hawaii. Well, why aren't you on the flight already? All right, tune in here, but I'll go live later. I'm having hard time understanding. But I'll go live later. Oh, okay. She's still tuned in here. All right. Well, got to do some deliveries today nearby. That's cool. Oh, and then you got a live stream. Okay, she's got some deliveries, then stream. Well, it's nice having you here. Nice getting to spend some more time with you there. And, y'all getting to know me a little bit more in my channel. And I wish I'd have set up better lighting because I'm seeing how fuzzy my face looks on this camera. And it's not the world's greatest camera. If you wasn't so busy, you'd already be on the plane to Hawaii. I've worked in Maui, and despite being weathered out 4 to 5 days a week, which makes it hard to pay for your hotel when you're weathered out that much, loved the place. Didn't care for the contract they had us on. They only guaranteed us 20 hours a week instead of 40. But I guess the tendency there is everybody tries to get on island time and do island activities, which we did when we were weathered out, because we were weathered out quite often. We found activities to go do, and we did those. Hang on, I'm trying to get it. There we go. He said he'd go in your place, Landon. Cousin Mike. I'll go in your place anytime. Oh, wait, I have a day job. Darn it. Maybe talk him into sending me over there to fix some blades again. Alrighty then, we're an hour and 35 minutes. I feel like I'm running out of stuff to talk about, unless somebody can put some topics up on there that other than Hawaii. I, I could probably tell some of those tales, but I've probably told those tales enough times I probably shouldn't be telling them. Uh, so, yep. Oh my. Well, I appreciate everybody coming. I'm trying to wrap it up because I'm really. Ah, hey, I've heard just Mater. You just helped me there. Mater and I've talked in depth a couple times about the battleship Texas that is down in Galveston, and I hear they just painted her. So they're wrapping up the restoration uh, quite well, and I imagine they'll be um, lowering her out of the dry dock very shortly here, and bring. I think they're going to put her in a different location than before, maybe a deeper water where it's not sitting in the mud. Um, I was okay with her being dry dock because that's kind of awesome too, but that's not a permanent solution unless they uh, just take all the way off the dry dock and just put her on shore somewhere. I not aware of how they've been doing. Yes, they did a kind of a bluer color. I was stunned by that, but maybe the other paint had faded to the point where it was more of a gray, from what I remember. So, oh, it wants him to change the CV axles and ball joints. What would you be working on in Hawaii that needs CV axles and ball joints? Wow, AFC South champs. So, are they going to the Super Bowl? Is that what's going on? That could be interesting. I can see they're probably already printing the shirts, and if they lose the Super Bowl, then those shirts will go hopefully get donated, but probably get sent to scrapped or sent to a third world country. A Saturn, yeah, no, those Saturns were quite sturdy vehicles when they were new. I'm sure the plastic's not, and some of them's probably not in the best shape nowadays, but uh, remember the way um, they each person have the task of taking the inner door panel, owned the machine, and maintained. If they found a better, smart machine, they maintained those machines. They owned those machines, and at least that was my opinion on that. At least that was how it was represented to me, and I liked that idea. It was too bad that when GM was undergoing financial crisis, they decided to shut down Saturn and Pontiac and several other Oldsmobile, if I'm correct. So, yep. All right, moderators, we got to get Mater out of here. All right. But anyway, guys, it's nice having everybody come and join. Thank y'all all for the views and the time and the comments. I think I'm just going to go ahead and end this live stream, and we'll see you guys next time, next week. All right, guys. Like I always say, y'all behave. We'll see you next time. Take care.